Oh, look at this. Hello, everyone. Greetings across Australia, across New Zealand, wherever you're watching. Hello and welcome to Sherry Madness, our virtual tasting for February. In case you're not aware, I'm going to start the night off by saying who I am. I'm Matt Bailey, and I'm joined with a very, very special guest, a friend and colleague, Amy Bartholomew's. Welcome to the live stream.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Amy is one of the most, probably one of the most flavor obsessed people I know. And I'm really excited to have her on the stream and for us to have a special guest talking about whiskey, talking about flavor, and talking about sherry madness, as is the theme with this evening. 5 sherried whiskeys from the outturn. But of course, we have other special guests joining us. I'd like to welcome, of course, Adam Ioannidis, our marketing manager, and Zach Stanley, our member services manager, who's joining us here. Where are we? There they are. There they are. Zach's background is now working. Thank you both for joining. This is full house tonight. This is great to see. So many people jumping on already for the live stream, which is also great to see. For those who are a bit confused, I'm sorry. Yes, we did change us. I've had 2 messages in the last hour. We've changed the live stream. It was going to be Wednesday. It is Thursday. Today is Thursday, the 26th. I really appreciate you all joining in live with us tonight. And otherwise, you can watch this back at a later date, especially for maybe our West Australian counterparts who maybe are still at work at 4 p.m. on a Thursday evening. Otherwise, you know what? Maybe you're at home and you can open a dram at 4 p.m. That'd be a good way to start. Adam, hello.
Hello, Matthew, Amy, Zach.
Hello, Adam.
Zach Shelf.
Hello, Zach and Zach Shelf.
Hello, Zach.
You guys ready for Sherry Madness?
We are, but I think, Zach, your mic is you're either muted or something's going on there. We'll check out. Always a technical hiccup somewhere online. I'm just glad it's not me this time. It's usually me.
We're going to have to rely on Zach's emotional cues.
Yeah, he's
quite vivid. For him,
his face will tell us everything we need to know about each whiskey, and maybe interpretive hand gestures will tell us more than we could ever hope to know.
Zach, please stay tuned.
I'm still hoping for a surprise, lol. I'm not sure what surprise you're looking for, Dov. The surprise is there's 5 excellent whiskeys in front of us, and without further ado, we might just start cracking into them and seeing what this is all about. Now, February, as I mentioned just before, was all about sherry. I'm really glad that we've got Amy on the stream to talk a little bit about each whiskey as well, her thoughts on each of the flavors, on each of the things as we go through. Amy, let's pour whiskey number 1, folks, so we're not talking too much, which is going to be cask 18.76 Moroccan Pastilla Anyone. So we'll bring that up. Do you want me to pour yours, or do you want to pour yours?
Oh, please.
No, I'll just a smidge here.
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
For those playing along at home, it looks like this in the 30ml form.
Yes, there it is. There's the bottle. If you want to grab one online, they are available. We just pour one in the glass. Whilst we have a nose in that and a taste of that, Amy, tell us what's your background in flavor? Where's it all come from? What is it?
Well, my background in flavor, I guess I was pretty lucky to grow up in a family obsessed with flavor. So essentially, we were carted to any and every cuisine, learning about all the different types of flavors. You know, it wasn't just sweet. You know, you were delving into something unctuous. It wasn't just sour. It was something, or bitter. It was astringent. We learned that from a pretty young age, and it's something that kind of grew with me as time went on. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these days you work in the trade. I mean,
I do.
Yeah.
I do. So I run a business named the Kokoro World. We import a whole bunch of Japanese liqueurs, spirits, gins, sakes, and even bitters too. So just some really wild flavors that, they're not available here. And I kind of want to bridge the gap between Japan and Australia, as we're all kind of obsessed gastronomes here. And, like the SMWS, we want things to be sipped, savoured, and remembered. So
yeah, that's a nice motto. So basically, you bring in all everything except the whiskey.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Bitters, gin, everything. We'll look after the whiskey side. Yeah. Amy looks after everything else. I think that's a good way to think of it. I have tasted a bunch of bitters that Amy has given me over the years, and I've bought a couple of bottles here and there. They are phenomenal. Like if you're at home and you have a bottle of Angostura bitters on the shelf, which let's be honest, you probably do. There's a good opportunity for you to upgrade. It's much like upgrading your whiskey in your whiskey journey when you've tasted Black Label and you want something a bit better. You're past the Johnny Walkers of the world and you want something a bit more sort of SMWS-ish. It's the same with the bitters game, and that's why I recommend checking out what Amy's doing. We'll throw a link in the chat a little bit later on. Of course, let's have a smell of 18.76. Adam, Zach, Amy, we'll chat about this. This is part of the 2-to-1 series. This is sort of a special program of ultra small batch whiskies. Thank you. There it is. Of where 2 completely mature whiskies from the distillery have been extra matured and married before bottling. This means that we get this really full-flavored, harmonious style whiskies that are still definitely single malt whiskies and they're still definitely cask strength. I love the nose on this. It's actually quite savory. For everyone expects sherried whiskeys. Like there's always that expectation. If you say to especially new whiskey drinker, like, oh, I like sherried whiskeys, there's always that sort of assumption that a sherried whiskey must mean it's sweet. I don't think that it's obviously not the case. I mean, Oloroso is a dry sherry, PX is a sweet sherry. Even just starting off those very sort of raw benchmarks, you end up with some whiskeys like this that are actually quite nutty and quite savory. And I actually do get almost like a red pasta sauce on the nose on this.
So you're not getting any sweetness at all on the nose?
No, I do get some sweetness, but it's not just pure sweetness. It's not just sort of sugar and sweets. It's like it's even a slightly nutty. Like pine nuts in a red pasta sauce kind of thing going on.
I'm getting a lot of like red velvet dusting.
Oh yeah, like red velvet cake. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this. When you wrote some notes about this one.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been to Morocco and I have actually had pastilla.
A lot of spices there.
So definitely brings back a few memories here. So you've got that really lovely meatiness there. That nuttiness, like you said, Matt, like kind of smoky almonds kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And even like a light dusting of cinnamon sugar on top. You get that sweetness, that bit of spice that comes through.
Yeah, yeah.
And even like the herbs that they use, like lemon pepper, you get that kind of piquancy that's there, and even a bit of like maybe a touch of thyme in there.
I'll be completely honest with you. When I first tasted this whiskey, maybe a few weeks ago, I wasn't actually a huge fan. It sort of didn't sit with me right. I think it was maybe where it was in the lineup or something. But now I'm really enjoying it. And I think I enjoyed it a lot more this time. And I'm almost getting like that beef trifle or like shepherd's pie thing going on.
Well, it's worth mentioning that this one is not a 2026 release. This is a 2025 November-December release. December, if you want to be specific. But as some of you may remember, we did have 2 virtual tastings in those last 2 months, one with 8 drams. However, we also released about 35 to 40 different whiskeys, so we couldn't taste all of them. This was just one of those fantastic ones that we couldn't pass up the opportunity of letting everyone sort of try it again, even a couple of months later, in our newly released 2-to-1 range. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I think that lemon pepper note, Amy, was spot on as well.
Great comment from David and Carolyn Taylor. David Taylor says he just received 35404. Great whiskey. Fantastic. You can't go wrong with one of the 35s. They're consistently good. Just easy drinkers. The .404, I can't remember the name on that one, but you can type it in the comments, Dave. But yes, this is lovely. It's got a lovely hue to it as well. I know we don't really talk much about color, but it is natural color. Zach, any notes from yourself here? If are we back on audio?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point, Zach. Thanks for pointing that out. Still
nothing coming through from Zach on the audio front. We'll cross back to him in due course. This is his game all along. This is his game all along. He just wanted to have a few drams. He didn't want to have to talk much or say much. He's like, I'm just here for the whiskey. I'm not here for the chat. yeah. His face and expressions will tell us more than we ever need to know.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Dove says there, that's better. Okay. What in particular is better, Dove?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below. Has anyone had a taste of it yet?
I've just been nosing it. I might have a quick taste now.
The fruity sawmill.
55.4%. It's not too chunky on the proof. It's not like one of those. We've had a few whiskeys. I had a few society whiskeys even just last week that were like in that mid 60s ABV.
Bit of a March out and preview stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that's true. Actually, that's true.
That's definitely got some spice on the palate. It's like fruity spice, like sort of diced up peaches, pineapple, bit of granola.
Yeah.
I can't pick what that spice is, but maybe a bit of saffron.
Yeah, I can get a touch of saffron in there for sure.
Yeah. Oh, good to have you back, Dov.
Got a bird song as well. I'm going to get a bird song in the nose on that, like a bit of
some birds. Oh yeah.
Parakeet, maybe a bit of pigeon. You know,
bit of updog. Yeah.
Bit of updog. Someone's going to ask it. I have to say, are you ready? What's up, dog? Oh, there you go. Oh, no. I did it.
The birds are chirping.
The fruity sawmill. Ah, yes, David Taylor. I know the one you mean. Delightful whiskey. Truly delightful whiskey. I was having some system issues. Well, aren't we all, Dov? Aren't we all? It's caught getting on. Lots of pepper on the palate. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has anyone tried adding a drop of water to that?
No.
Distillery 18 is one of those ones that has often fallen into the oily and coastal profile. Do you want to drop water? Just see how it handles.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm even more cautious about adding water to your own whiskey. Pouring someone else's whiskey is already nervous enough. Adding water to someone else's whiskey, that's like you screw that up and you're dead to me. You know, it's like.
And you've got a pretty heavy hand with the.
With both the pouring and the watering, exactly. You know,
that's what evens out basically.
You know, like for most people, it looks like a 30 ml dram, but for me, it should be 40 or 50. Otherwise, how can you really enjoy it? You know,
that's true.
Getting
good at principles.
It's rising up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like lots more sort of like orange peel, like a squeezed orange peel sort of note on that with the water.
Like a candied orange kind of.
Yeah.
Flavor.
It's gotten a sweeter and more candied orange. That's good. Good call.
Also, on an offside, there's a Japanese citrus called Sudachi, and it's kind of limey flavor, got a bit of spice, and it also has Quercus lactones in there. So it's got that real relationship with oak, as in that woodiness.
So like woodiness in the citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So it has a really interesting profile, and it's a little relatable here.
It's delightful. Okay, well, so we're just going to have to, we'll pour the next whiskies. I would recommend pouring them earlier rather than later. If you've already poured them, then you're just ahead of us by a smidge here. But what I'd do is just pour the next two whiskies, which are going to be the American and the Iberian, which is what you're all probably here for. That first whiskey, the 18.76, is a really good way for us to spark the palate, start us off on the right journey. These next two are just going to be a chance for us to try something a little bit different and really get into the side-by-side of these next two. So what I would do if you're playing along at home is pour the American into your left glass and then pour the Iberian into the right glass. Just like we've done at a couple of the tastings so far around.
Check.
Oh. 1, 2. There he is. There he is. He's back. He's booming. Okay.
And all it took was a sacrifice of background.
Yeah. I don't actually have any whiskey, guys. I was lying.
It's still a ruse. Still a duplicitous ruse.
Which one did you pour first, Matthew?
I did the American on my left glass and then the Iberian on my right glass.
Which order will you be going through?
I think let's do that. Let's do American and then Iberian. We'll talk about them both as we go. There's no hard and fast rule with any of these. But if you have the opportunity to have two glasses next to each other for these, that's the whole point of this release. So the Diptych is two 30-year-old whiskies from Distillery 96. Without saying the name of the distillery, this is probably one of the most iconic sherry whiskey sort of distilleries out of Scotland. I'll say other distillery names. It's, if you were to say names like Macallan, like Aberlour, like Glenfarclas, this is one of those sort of caliber of distilleries that sherry whiskey lovers often pine about. And this is an opportunity where Ewan Campbell on our whiskey team has led the work here of building a work of liquid beauty in 2 parts. So it was 2 Oloroso casks, 2 Oloroso hogsheads that were matured, that were distilled on the same day from this distillery, matured for 28 years, I think, and then an extra maturation on both of them, one in American oak PX and one in Spanish oak PX. Given one's called American, one's called Iberian, you can probably take the guesswork out about which one's which. But the American is, of course, the American oak PX, and the Iberian is Spanish oak PX. And it's just fascinating. It's so rare that you get to try 2 whiskies from the same distillery, same distillate date, both 30 years old. This is just truly a rare moment, and something that I'm so glad we're able to share with members virtually. Amy, you sort of had a preview of these from some samples, didn't you? And
I did.
And how did you go?
I went exceedingly well.
Oh, good.
These, I guess they're kind of fraternal twins, you know, born on the same day, but they're very different in character.
Very, very different.
Yep.
And it's not, what I love most is that it's not even like one's Oloroso and one's PX, or one's ex-bourbon and one's Oloroso. Like, we're talking both PX matured, extra matured here, both full Oloroso, both into PX, yet all it took was and this is playing into the difference of location of that wood, like where it was growing, rather than just the difference in sherry, which is like, you see the difference in sherry releases all the time. So you could do an Oloroso versus PX whiskey quite easily, but doing a PX versus PX and we're narrowing it down to just American versus Spanish, I think is very cool.
I really enjoy that as well, Matt. The looking at trying to narrow down what's changed a whiskey is often really difficult, because there's so many choices that you can make throughout the production of that whiskey, coming down to how your stills are shaped, whether it was humid on the day that you're distilling, the quality of the wood that you're putting it into, what corner of the warehouse you're hiding it in. Hundreds of decisions have to be made, and all of those can change the outcome. So to see the difference in just the wood type is quite difficult, but I'm really glad we get the opportunity to do that.
Great little comment from Howard Ware about the .42. So I think that's the American, isn't it? Yeah, the American's got more sort of nose raisins, and 41 has more dried fruit. I'd agree with that. I find the American to be quite creamy on the nose, quite like sort of like and it shows its age a lot better, if that makes sense. I smell the American and I go, that smells like a 30-year-old whiskey. The Iberian for me is a lot more sort of like rich dried fruit, but really opens up on the palate differently from the American.
Well, it's interesting that both Howard and yourself have used dried fruit. Would you like to talk about the new flavor profile these bottles actually fall into?
Oh, yes, sure. I mean, I should give a bit of context. I mean, over the last, I'd say 18 months, myself and the team in the UK have worked very closely on building a new flavor profile approach for the society, of which this is the first comes along with some of the first bottles we're seeing through from them.
No, these are the first.
These are the first. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so
first
we've released. So you'll see in your menu, you've got other profiles here and there. These ones fall into the new dried fruits and spices. To give you an example, the 12 profiles we've got currently, they did work, but some of them were a bit sort of like, well, some of them were descriptors rather than tasting notes, or some of them were sort of like sweet, fruity, and mellow makes sense, but because it's something that's sweet, fruity, and mellow, but it's something that's old and dignified. What does old taste like, and what does dignified taste like? It's kind of it's a bit of a misnomer in a way. So the new 8 profiles will be coming through. I don't know if we've got a bit of anything loaded up that we can show what that looks like, but the new 8 profiles coming through will be have a lot more of a approach towards flavor, which is what we're obsessed with. And I think these sort of work really well. Now these two, I was about to say the distillery, these two 96s have already come out. These came out last week. They were really popular, really well received by members. There's very few left. And what I mean by that is I think there's 1 of the American and maybe 3 of the Iberian left.
That's it.
The duos are sold out. The packs are sold out. you could build your own pack out of the one American and one Iberian left on the site if someone snaps them up tonight. But otherwise,
that being said, someone just scanned the code for the Americans,
I saw
so
that.
we could very well not have one left. I will just throw up, as you mentioned before, there's a little flavor wheel of what the new flavor profiles look like with bonus reindeer arms behind it. So we've got dried fruits and spices, which these two fall into. In March, we're going to see sweet and zesty and bold and peaty come through. And in April, we're going to see all of them. So that's smoky and fruity, fragrant and floral, toasted oak and vanilla.
Amy presenting the wheel.
Just a little bit more to your right. There we go. Perfect. And then coastal and maritime. All right. Are you ready to tear it down, Amy?
Yeah, let's tear it down.
2, 1. There we go.
Our transitions are perfect. This is why you watch this stream, isn't it, folks? Just for these shocking transitions between things. I have my duo turn up today. Says Glenn Homan. Oh, excellent, Glenn. That's a very rare set you've got there. For those who did already get a set, congratulations. It is also true. I mean, they are expensive. There's no doubt about that, but they are also tremendous value. If you compare them to what 30-year-old even non-single casks from this distillery go for these days, I think it's fantastic. But just the experiment alone of being able to try them side by side. And for those who got bottles of these or those who are just having these samples with us tonight, either way, I would recommend leaving a bit in the glass. These evolve quite a bit over time. They've been cooped up in wood for 30 years. So they really do open up. I'd let them just sit for a while. No need to rush these. No, you're going after the DRDF mafias, Matt. I am Dov. I'm going after the DRDF mafia. I know they exist. I've been told that you're a member of the DRDF mafia and to not cross your path. No, dried fruits and spices just makes a bit much more sense. And is essentially the new DRDF profile. So nothing really, that's probably the one that had the least amount of changes, to be honest. Fantastic.
Blatant color swap.
There's an excellent amount of spice on the palate from the Iberian. I feel the focus of the flavor on each of them sort of shifts while they're still very similar. The American being more creamy and slightly sweeter, but the Iberian bringing all of those Spanish oak spices to the fore. I think that's something worth mentioning, is that they're sort of quite typical of what you would expect from these wood types, which is great. Like it's actually showing the effects as you would expect. You get a lot more sweetness from that American oak with lots more vanillins coming into the final mix, and then the tighter grain of the Spanish oak helps to boost those spicy sort of notes that we're seeing here.
Yeah. It's funny, actually. The first time I tasted them, I vastly preferred the American over the Iberian, but much like that Moroccan pastilla before it, my mind's completely changed, and maybe my palate's in a different spot today, but I'm really enjoying the Iberian over the American today. I think it's just different. I mean, I think it's just mood and time and place and how many coffees or what garlic you had earlier sort of thing obviously plays into your palate. And I had someone earlier today, shout out to Tash, who told me that the moon phase, that they know a distiller who thinks the moon phase can affect your palate as well. Not so convinced on that one. I also suggested that maybe your star sign has a place to play in terms of your palate. I don't believe that one either.
Tidal forces, Matt. They pull the flavor to the front of your tongue.
That's what a Taurus would say. So, Amy, you've had a
Taurus. So,
exactly
classic.
So, are you a sherry drinker?
I am.
Yeah. So, I'd love to hear in the comments who else here drinks sherry, because that's always an interesting part of that discussion about sherry casks. Is it, who likes sherry? Who's okay? Like, is it occasional for you? Is it once or twice a year? Is it once a week? I mean, sherry is such an interesting topic in itself, and we are in the Sherry Madness month. They are both bloody good, says Howard Ware. That's so good to hear. You know what? They really are. It's such a rare treat that we get this kind of length of sherry matured whiskey out of especially this distillery. So I think this is fantastic, and also tremendously good value for that comparison. Anything to add yourself from yourself? You wrote some notes on both of these, didn't you?
I did.
I'd love to hear some of them.
Okay. Well, like I was saying, fraternal twins that you've got going on here. And you can tell the Americans a bit more mellow, whereas, you could say the Iberians a bit more emotional, if you know what I mean. But, from the Iberian, you've got that lovely, like that sandalwood coming through. Kind of reminds me of incense being swung throughout a room. And
like church incense.
Yeah. And there is a kind of degree of reverence you have when you're...
What denomination are we talking here? Are we talking like deep Catholic church, or are we talking like, Protestant, or are we talking Anglican?
Orthodox, I reckon.
Orthodox, yeah. Just checking.
Lots of sandalwood.
Yeah. Sandalwood, yeah. It's got the Orthodox sandalwood note there. Good. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that as a descriptor. I think it's funny you mentioned that. I mean, it's one of those things where people often talk about flavor in a way that is like, always so often. I mean, often you hear drawing upon sort of childhood flavors and memories, and often you hear about modern flavors and things. But calling something like emotional, as a tasting note is quite interesting. It's something a bit different. I think it's a good thing. It's more of a descriptor in terms of the language of how we talk about flavor in general is fascinating.
It's less of a tasting note and more of a reaction, I guess.
Yeah.
It makes you emotional.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of what it evokes in you. And because the entire experience, it's so subjective. I mean, what I'm saying could come across as absolute rubbish to someone else, but that's just me. And, as Matt was saying, every day is different. And, different notes are coming through today. I've definitely got that, those base notes that are coming through, that light smokiness kind of swinging back and forth. But you've also got like that blackberry jam kind of feel going around.
Yeah.
And like that chewing toffee kind of.
Yeah. Blackberry jam. That's a good call. And yeah.
Like that chewiness that you get. So for me, it's like a chewy toffee. When you've got...
but this one won't pull your teeth out.
I hope
it's even better. See, it's even better than a chewing toffee because it won't cause any dental damage.
Are we talking Iberian or American here?
Was that Iberian or American, Adam?
That was Iberian.
Yeah.
I was talking about,
Yeah. Good call. My only little tip with this as well for those playing along and drinking these at home is that my rule of thumb with adding water to whiskies is... for young whiskies or ex-bourbon casks, I add a few drops here and there. For sherried whiskies, I tread carefully, I call it. And then for old whiskies, regardless of cask type, it's almost never. So for something like this, it's both sherried and old, I'd veer on the side of saying, I'm not going to try that with water. I don't think it needs it. They're already pretty subdued in proof, being around the 52 mark, each of them. Yeah, 50.9 and 52.2. I think adding water to those might just fall apart, especially that Iberian. Probably just it will probably become quite it would probably sort of crumble a bit under the weight of the water.
I think I'm actually preferring the Iberian this time around.
Yeah,
I think the last time I had it at the Melbourne event, it was the American. But I do find the Iberian quite fragrant. I think Zach said sandalwood earlier, and that's sort of that incense. Of a nice Orthodox church.
Nice little segue to speaking of big old sherried whiskies. Adam, there's a scroll at the bottom of the screen right now. Tell us more.
Matthew, thank you. So for March and for February, but a little bit of March as well, technically, all you have to do is basically place an order that exceeds $300 or meets $300, and you automatically go into the chance to win a 34-year-old whiskey, Heaven in a Leather Hammock, which is from Distillery 12. It's a spicy and dry sherry matured whiskey valued at $1,599. And every order that meets or exceeds $300 goes in the draw to win. That's it. Like it's so simple. All you have to do is buy amazing whiskey or order a ticket to your local event, of which there are many, and you could win.
Yeah. Just just quickly on that. I mean, I've tasted that whiskey, that particular 34-year-old Heaven in Leather Hammock. It's probably one of my favorite whiskeys of last year I tasted. Truly fantastic whiskey.
Well, not only did you, I mean, you tasted it, but I remember when we received it on the shipment, and before we put it on, out to members, you explicitly said it was, I believe, one of your favorite from last year that you had tasted in the UK. So it's sort of like that extra thing. And here we have it right here. So it's a gorgeous Vaults Collection bottling, which is our sort of line that's technically discontinued. But this is your chance to get one for, essentially $300. The more as you place, the more chance you have of winning it.
And I mean, even if you don't win, you've got a good whiskey that you've just ordered anyway on the site. So I mean, it's a win-win for you.
Win-win.
Can I just throw that comment out from Glenn? For this distillery release, 30-year-old is next level, but to have twins with different profile will be something to save you. Look, there's something I want to make a comment on that. You're absolutely right, Glenn. But it's also any distillery to release anything above 30 years age. It really does. It's actually quite astounding once you work out the stats of how few casks go that distance in reality, in that any distillery to have whiskey aged that long is truly phenomenal. And I don't know what the actual odds are, but it has to be something like 1 in 50,000 or 1 in 100,000 casks produced actually go that sort of distance.
And actually turn out good.
And actually turn out good, yeah. I mean, you have all these, you've probably tasted, many of you have tasted lots of lovely 8, 9, 10, 12, 13-year-old whiskies. And they were bottled when they were ready. And if they'd been left in cask much longer, even as a 13-year-old whiskey, would have been over-oaked, would have been overcooked, way too much wood influence, just turned syrupy and horrible. Just like you can have a whiskey that's under-oaked, that hasn't been in the wood long enough. But this is, I mean, to get that kind of distance out of a cask, to get 30 years out of a cask is actually quite rare in of itself, let alone this distillery. And I think we often take that for granted, especially if you've been in whiskey a while. You sort of go, yeah, 30-year-old whiskey. It's like, no, this is a thing that's of our generation just about. And if you go back even a full generation of whiskey drinkers before, it's sort of like they'd even seeing things like 10-year-old age statements or 12-year-old age statements on bottles is like, well, that's unusual. That's quite old. And now we're sort of there's the wood has come so far that we can find these whiskeys that are 30 years of age or 35 years of age or whatever, and it's like it's very uncommon for whiskeys to go that far, let alone not be over oaked, but also not leak out, not fall below proof. All these it's such a tight wire of a balancing act to see casks that kind of length of time. So yes, I fully agree, and much the same about that 12 dot whatever the code is 62 dot, the one we're giving away. It's that's a 34-year-old whiskey from a distillery that I'm not even sure have anything of that age on market at the moment. They did a few years ago, but not really anymore. So very cool to see. Yes, the Dove Wrights Distillery 35 has had a good proportion of 30-year-old whiskies, and yes, the 300 can be in 2 different transactions, double your chances.
That's just to clarify that. I think Dave and Carolyn Taylor are asking if it can be $300 across 2 transactions, which it cannot be.
No, sorry.
$300 in the single transaction, but you can make multiple to double your chances. Every transaction of $300 or more will give you a entry, essentially.
Exactly. All right. We all happy to move on.
Yeah,
I want to keep some in my glass so I can come back to it a bit later.
As I said earlier, I think keep a smidge in each of your glasses so you can come back to it, because it's going to be something quite special to behold later and see how they develop over time. But I think we should pour whiskey number 4.
That's 11.46. Organized artistry.
I'm putting Amy in charge of pouring duty for her glass and mine this time.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm
Too
quite
bad.
short, and I've got arms like a T-Rex, so you're chancing it here, Matt.
I'm just going to lean right over it so she doesn't pour it all over my lap. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Oh, thank you much, Lee.
Zach, do you want to pour mine?
Yeah, I'll just pop over.
Just go across the screen. Just.
Wait, do it again.
That almost kind of worked, actually. That was a better transition than the flavor wheel one.
Look, we know how it's done. Don't worry.
No, shut up. All right, good. We be out here.
We do.
So this is fun. This is something a bit different. Obviously, we're jumping radically different in terms of style and approach and cask and everything here, but a Highland whiskey was ex-bourbon hogshead into a second fill ex Oloroso. So not a huge sherry monster straight away there. And from Distillery 11, which is, I always get these like tropical, like papaya and notes out of Distillery 11 casks. I mean, one of the tasting notes already says, hot buttered almond croissant dunked in toffee sauce and encrusted with freeze-dried cranberry and blackberry. I think that hits the nail on the head with this one.
It's certainly a lot of dark toffee for me. Like you've left sugar in the pan for too long, starting to over caramelize.
It's a great
that sort of almost bitter sweetness.
It's like anyone else's noses.
Oh yeah, I mean it's quite punchy, and it's not. If we've just come from a really really relaxed 30-year-old pair to this, it's going to be quite prickly and punchy.
Yeah, but I think that's great. That it'll have a different effect on our palate, and then it'll really change how we experience the American and Iberian going back to it, which is great. You can get 4 whiskeys for the price of 2.
I was really hoping for 5 for the price of 2. No deal. Amy, thoughts?
Well, Zach, when you were saying you were talking about burnt sugar, was it? It kind of reminds me. For breakfast when you've got like a ruby red grapefruit and you put brown sugar on top and you put it in to grill. It's kind of got the citrusy notes, that sugariness.
Some of us are more wheat bix and honey types, but there's a bit of that in there too.
Some of us are a meat pie on a radiator sort of energy of cuisine, but that's okay.
Bit of sliced pepperoni.
You talk about pepperoni or fried chicken every single day, so yeah, I can imagine you're getting a bit of pepperoni in this.
I had to hit my quota today.
That's good.
Howard Ware is getting a hint of smoke.
It's a very good observation. You could be onto something there. I'm not immediately getting it, but maybe it's just like it's a hint of like maybe the barley sugars or barley smoke or something there.
Definitely, there's a whisper in there.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, one of the notes we did just throw out was burnt sugar. So, I mean,
yeah, there's certainly some dark charry notes in there.
Betty is getting sugary lychee juice, which sounds delicious. Not gonna lie, I'd probably have a glass of that right now.
Yeah.
And even like, the dried mango. Particularly that the one from the Philippines. It's so juicy.
What's there's a name for that, isn't there?
Well, it's from Cebu, like the island that they get it from mainly. But it's just got this beautiful aromatic.
What was this? Sorry, from Philippines?
Mango.
Ah,
here's a question. Like dried mango piece.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, dried mango.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of something else, but I was about to ask, has anyone tasted it yet? Because now I'm wondering if Howard was talking about a bit of smoke on the palate, which I am getting a little bit more of that burnt, charring, maybe a touch of smoke. So Howard, let us know if you meant the palate or the nosing note.
Yeah. That's lovely. I mean, really enjoying that. That's like just something I could really just call it a Sunday afternoon dram.
Yeah.
Not overly complicated, but there's enough going on that it's like just really enjoyable sherried whiskey. And the sherry's not overwhelming the spirit either. Like that second fill Oloroso is just, I think, sitting nicely and integrating nicely.
It's still quite active for second fill though. It's
it is quite active,
especially with only a couple of years on it.
Howard,
I mean, hold on. It's half and half. It's 4 years ex-bourbon, 4 years second fill. So I always have fun with those ones when people say it's like a finish or an additional maturation or something. It's like, well, sometimes it's a whole other maturation in a way. It's a 4+4. We've had a few. We had a 10 recently that was a 5+5. 5 ex-bourbon and the 5 ex-sherry. And we've had a few whiskies over the years which are reverse of that, where they were ex-sherry and then into ex-bourbon. which I always find interesting as well, because obviously the biggest influence is still the sherry from the first time it's been through. Yeah, Howard.
179 for this one. That's
great value.
That is very good value. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think the last 11 we got through was Whiskey Wanderers last year in June, which sold out instantly. And we had people asking us at every event if there's any still left for sale. And then before that, I believe it was the 20 not out.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen many 11s come through. So
is this one coming? This one hasn't been released yet, has it?
No, this is a February out term.
This is February. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with February and March.
Yes, it is.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's fact.
It happened.
But no, I know what you mean, because we did taste some. I think you're thinking of the. We tasted something in. No, there is an 11 coming in March, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's a spicy and sweet though.
We've also had some peated 11s through. We do get some peated 11s through, which is also fun. They're very cigar ashy in a way. They're not like big boggy peaty whiskies. They're sort of like light white smoke in a glass.
That would have been a while ago.
No,
recently was the Fly Cemeteries.
Fly Cemeteries thing, yeah.
Oh, that was that's the other one we got.
That's an 11, yeah. I could have sworn I saw it at Whiskey and Almond recently. So
that came out in November, December. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really different take on that spirit. But it's sort of building as you sip a little bit more and more. It's one of those really oily drams that just builds on itself and adds new layers of flavor. I quite enjoy that.
I'm almost getting like a sugar sort of thing now.
What was your tasting note just now?
I said it's a bit like almond biscotti, like that you'd have with coffee. It's kind of got that biscuitiness, like a bit of like confectionery marzipan running through.
So this plus an espresso plus some almond biscotti, perfection. There's the three things you need. Done. Grab one of these, have one with your coffee.
Now that's a breakfast.
Now that's I'd even replace the meat pie on the radiator with that. That might even take top shelf, top billing.
You reckon it's better than Wheat Bix and honey?
Catch me on a good day, yeah.
Catch him on a bad day. It's back to the Wheat Bix.
But even in here,
I'm definitely getting a lot more of that lychee juice now coming through that Betty mentioned though.
Yeah. Lychee juice is a good call, Betty. Betty's just biding her time, waiting for that last dram, though. She's just waiting for the 10 in the pack. We know you too well, Betty. It's us. It's fine.
Except that one time we didn't have the peated.
The disappointment. The shame.
In fact, I'm going to say it right now. July's virtual tasting is going to be heavy on the peat.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out.
I think I might have to buy a bottle of that one.
Even now, those berry notes are kind of coming through a bit.
Does anyone add water to this one at all? Has anyone tried it with a drop of water?
No.
You do it first. No, you go ahead. You try it first.
No, I'm good.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to try mine with water. I'm going to see how it holds up. Just a smidge. You're almost out of dram, though.
Wait for thin drop.
Now you've got more water than dram.
It'll just really open up.
Really open up.
Really open up.
Lovely.
I get a bit more of that smokiness for sure coming through now with the extra water. Like a berry.
Yeah, berry coulis.
Coulis.
Yeah, that's you've got the best tasting notes tonight. This is I don't know how this happened.
It's got a bit of a mulled wine vibe to it.
Yeah.
For sure. It's very warming as well. So.
Oh.
Returning to that first one, the Moroccan pastilla,
Yeah.
I'm getting way more of that pastilla now, the sweet bakery stuff.
That's changed so much. Well, my palate's changed so much, but whatever, or a bit of both. But it's funny actually because I think I said before, the 18s that we get through are often like veering into that oily and coastal sort of territory because it is a coastal distillery and it's quite a sort of waxy, salty kind of note that a lot of these 18s come through as. Yeah, it's really changed that 18. I want to see how my 96s are doing. Really nicely. I'm going to keep them sit there for a little bit longer. Wow. Pungent. Wow. It is cool to taste all these different types of like sherry going on here. I mean, American oak, Spanish oak, Oloroso, PX. We do occasionally bottle things from other than Oloroso and PX sherry casks, but they are the two most popular for good reason. One is because they're produce the most desirable results for sherry matured whiskies, and two because Scots and whiskey producers are notoriously cheap, and they're also the cheapest types of sherry casks to get. But you do occasionally sometimes see Manzanilla or Amontillado or Fino casks come through in whiskey production, just less common and much higher risk. You could occasionally see things like Fino or Palo Cortado casks and things, and they can produce sometimes. What was that?
We saw a few of those come through last year. Palo Cortado.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Fino, I believe, with the 138s, 128s.
Yeah. There's some weird 128s.
The Welsh, the Wales.
Yeah.
Speaking of branching out, Matt, and having recently visited the Bond store, do you know if we've started using the recently allowed casks like Calvados and cider and tequila, that sort of thing?
We have, and in fact, so much so a keen eye. I won't point to them because it'll make it too obvious. But a keen eye will spot that there's some Calvados matured and Mezcal matured whiskies sitting behind me right now.
Goodness gracious!
Goodness gracious!
What a time to be alive!
What a time to be alive! No, there's some. We're the first ones we see from Calvados or tequila, Mezcal casks, etc., will be in the Heresy range. It's a way for us to gauge member approval on them, for members to taste them in experimental phase before they come out in single cask form, which I think is a really good way to do it because then we get to sort of like really play around with those flavors nice and early, see what people think of them, a larger batch, get some feedback, hear what people say about them, feed that back to the whiskey team, and that sort of drives the next sort of range of casks to come through. But yes, to answer your question, Zach, we'll see. Actually, if I'll be accurate in saying that we've got about 88 different wood types, different maturing in the Bond store right now in the UK, which is actually quite insane. So if you take X Oloroso, you take X PX, you take X Mezcal and say X Calvados, and then you've got 84 more. There's a lot going on, which is a lot of fun, and it creates sort of endless permutations of what you can play around with spirit. And I think some of my favorite things we see at the society sometimes are when you see the opposite of, like, almost like the polar opposite of what the distillery does. And it's like seeing an unsherried whiskey from Distillery 1 or an unpeated whiskey from Distillery 29. Those kind of things where you're like, okay, that's unusual, or seeing a peated one, or things like that where it's like that distillery doesn't do peated whiskey, and you hear those kind of comments sometimes from members saying, I didn't realize this distillery made peated whiskey. It's like, well, there you go. Or sometimes we've been lucky in the past. I mean, if you're looking at society history, where distillers have often offloaded experiments to us because they didn't know what to do with them. Like a distillery that doesn't do peated runs went, okay, we're going to do a month of peat, and then laid down heaps and heaps of peated casks. And 10 years later, with different management and different team members at that distillery, went, what do we do with all this? And this isn't part of our core range, and we don't know what to do with it, and call the SMWS so they want it. And we get to play around with those things. And I think that's a lot of fun, is when that happens in discovering different flavors from distilleries, and while still maintaining that sort of ethos of that distillate. All right, enough rambling. Let's.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. It is very exciting, and it provides so much flavor experimentation, and Well, I think I used to say that one of the most exciting parts of being an ambassador with the society was always I never got to present the same whiskey twice, almost ever. And that's kind of the fun of all the single casks through releases, that you get to try so many different things all the time and always have a constantly changing array. Or as I like to put it in tastings, that you don't want to eat at the same restaurant every night.
Well, you could say that about being a member as well, just not being able to taste the same whiskey twice.
Unless you buy lots and lots of bottles of it and it lasts you a lifetime.
That is also true.
Which would also be terribly boring.
You can buy them separately in different
transactions
to get extra entries for the bottle,
as long as they made $300 or more.
We're going to give that bottle away to someone, which is crazy. Is that your glass? That was a very paltry pour. I'm topping you up because because when you add water, otherwise this time when you add water, it's gonna yeah, exactly. You're gonna again overwater your drum. Okay. Yeah, I think that's so exciting. Giving that bottle away. I already asked Zach if can I enter. Can I buy some bottles over 300 and be in the draw to win, which we then decided would be a really bad look. So no. But I mean, still someone will win it.
So Matt's doing dry February where he's not buying any whiskey whatsoever.
This is a lie. This is an outright lie.
Just kidding. I'm very excited for this one because I think this is probably one of the best 10s I've had since Servo Surf and Turf.
This is a fantastic whiskey. Now, just speaking of whiskeys, where just my point before about out of the ordinary, most of what this distillery in Islay produces is unpeated. Most of it. But most of what we release from this distillery is peated.
And what's the story behind that, Matthew? Please, Matthew.
No. I mean, the story goes back quite a long way. It goes back to sort of the 80s, of where they saw demand for peated whiskey in the blends that they were supplying, and produced all this peated spirit, which at the time, I think even then they were calling it Monnier or Soisha or something. And then, but by the time the 90s came around and this stuff was mature, they didn't really, or early 90s, I should say, or late 80s, by the time it was ready to go, they didn't know what to do with it all, and so that's why we came along and said, well, this is great whiskey. And I think we've just been buying and bottling a lot of peated whiskey from Distillery 10 over the years. Amy, your thoughts on this on the immediacy of just no water added, Islay whiskey, sherried Islay whiskey?
To be honest, the name is perfect. It really encompasses everything that this whiskey has going on. It's got that piquancy from the ginger, that warmth, that heat, that kind of raw feel, the fishy kind of flavor running through, like the herring sushi. For me, this is like a full Japanese dram. Like it comes across to me like it's almost
a full like Japanese dram. Yeah.
First off, it's like going from an estuary into the sea, if you know what I mean. It's got that kind of not quite petrichor, but that little bit of mossiness that kind of merges into the ocean, hopping on a ship. And, you need a bit of ginger for relieving the nausea in there. Mm-hmm. And you're going for a very smoky omakase.
Oh, yeah. So yeah.
You've definitely got, like the name suggests, those sushi notes coming through. Like there's that dry bonito in there.
Mm.
You've got that fatty kind of salmon.
Fatty salmon, like rich salmon notes.
Absolutely, that
like sashimi.
Yeah, for sure.
And even perhaps with a char.
Yeah. That char is lovely on here as well, and it's not overwhelming as well.
Taki.
I'm almost getting like a smoked cinnamon on the nose, to be honest. Like a heavily smoked cinnamon
stick kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, or not quite cinnamon stick, but almost just like a bunch of cinnamon dusting has been kind of applied to it.
Yeah, a bit like the cinnamon leaves as well. They've kind of got that feel to
it. Glenn, I hate to break it to you, but the 34-year-old is being given away all month. But don't let that stop you, because your odds tonight are as good as they'll ever be, buddy. Absolutely go for it. We support you.
Yeah, Glenn, I love that you're really rolling the dice on it being tonight. I love that. That was good. But it's running for a little while, Glenn.
Don't let that stop you, though. Let it ride.
We won't hold you back from getting good whiskey. This for me, also, just to talk on the code for a sec, 10.284. This is the 284th cask we've had from Distillery 10 in 40 years. So really good supply of just great peated whiskies. I was lucky enough to open and share around a bottle in my time in the UK of 10.15. So going a very, very early paper label release of a 9-year-old whiskey from the distillery. And I think that this honestly matches, if not beats, even some of those earlier releases. Everyone looks at rose tinted glasses of these kind of whiskies, and I think this is one of those ones that will stand the test of time of just being so well integrated, so many tasty notes, perfect name for it. Try saying that name after a few drams.
Try saying it after 1 dram.
Does anyone know what roll mop
Try saying it
is?
What's that, Zach?
Do you know what roll mop is? Is it describing the sushi?
No, it's when you have herring and you wrap it around like cucumber or onion. That's what a roll mop is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Told.
It's
Received.
Understood.
Well,
Ish.
But yeah, like
Howard Ware comes in with sea salt and ash.
yeah.
It's good.
For
It's
sure.
true. It's just
Almost like an ash brie.
Fantastic 10. Like the cheese.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like an ash brie cheese. Like it's almost got like that, the dirtiness of an ash brie cheese in a way, like that sort of ashiness to the cheese. Like it's already got that fatty salmon and cheese thing going on for me.
Pop a comment if you're enjoying cheese right now, just so I can live that for you.
It's what I wear. I'd want to be enjoying cheese right now. I don't have cheese right now. I've got whiskey.
I don't. It's in the fridge, but it's for later.
But now the kind of like meatiness is beginning to show. Like,
Yeah.
The barbecue, like yakiniku, where you kind of just sear it.
Yeah.
And just got that light bit of kind of gamey, meaty.
Yeah.
God, how good.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to eat this.
You want to eat this whiskey?
It's like a meal in a glass.
It's true.
And I definitely want that ash brie for dessert.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. On the cheese plate.
Yep.
Cheese dessert is underrated.
Oh.
Cheese dessert's fantastic.
Chisert.
Dessert.
It's all right. I won't say that again. Ever.
I sure hope not.
I've done that
Beautiful
myself.
portmanteau.
Amazing. For those who have kept a bit of their American and Iberian in the glass, I recommend picking them both up and seeing how they've handled after your nose has been and palate has been somewhat assaulted by that 10.
The American is going straight towards dessert for me. Lots of like crumpets and whipped honey.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
Tata 10.
Yep. So apple tart.
You're dropping all the fancy ones tonight. That's good. I like that.
I like dessert. What
Yeah.
can I say?
No, it's good.
I mean, how good is dessert?
I mean, how good is it?
It is. I mean, following Chisert.
Dessert.
I didn't say it.
He did say it. We'll clip this for Instagram later. This is me saying we're going to clip this, which means it's going to go online and you're going to all have to endure.
You'll have to talk to the marketing manager about that.
You're done. By next stream, I'll be wearing a T-shirt that has that as a quote with your name on it.
You're done.
Chisert.
We'll have a photo of me just being like,
mate, you're cooked. It's as simple as that.
as long as it's cooked with ashy smoked brie.
The American is really showing its age in a good way. giving me lots of rancio notes, lots of old library leather
Rancio.
Right, it's like sitting
cigar
in
box.
a leather chair
Yeah.
in the library.
Yep.
And I'm getting more of those kind of tobacco-y kind of notes coming through, like, you know, taking a pinch from your tobacco pouch, as it were.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get the tobacco note on the Iberian more myself.
For the Iberian, for me, it's more of a pipe.
Okay, we're getting down really. But what is it? Is it a Wordsworth or a Hamilton? You got to narrow down what pipe it is. We've got to find the actual brand of pipe here.
A wooden one.
Yeah, they're all
corn cob, I think.
Mine's carbon fiber. Sorry, I forgot to tell you.
Is it oak?
Is it oak pipe? Oak. I don't think so.
Is it smoked by a wizard?
American oak pipe. Russian oak pipe.
Iberian oak pipe.
Iberian. That's what we've got in front of us.
Yes, exactly.
Just say words.
The casks had to go somewhere, Matthew.
Into pipes or furniture.
No.
Quarter casks are overrated. Yeah.
The Iberian is certainly more woody on the palate now. A bit more drying as well.
Fantastic. All right, team. Well, thank you so much for tonight's live stream. It's been a good hour of nosing and tasting and discussing some of these whiskies and talking about flavour. And thank you everyone who tuned in and joined along with us. It's been a marvellous month here at the SMWS for February, all about sherry madness and sherried whiskey. Huge thanks to Amy for joining us on the stream tonight.
Thank you all for having me on board.
Is this your first official live stream with us?
It is.
First and not last.
I hope not.
No, we'll do some more. We'll do some more, and talk flavour and all good things. Maybe we need to do like a mixing one with some of your bitters or something.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it'll get crazy. I did a live stream once on Society Channel of you making cocktails live. It ended poorly. I was surrounded with broken glasses and watered down ice cubes all around me, and I had to end the stream. I think.
Is this one of the infamous lockdown streams though?
I think it was.
Did any of those end not poorly?
Anything goes in a lockdown stream. Like you can do anything in a lockdown stream. It doesn't matter. No, I really appreciate it all joining along. All 5 bottles that we tasted tonight are available. There's very few of the Diptych left, if at all. But just check SMWS.
We've already had a couple of tonight's bottles leave the website. So
yeah.
Be quick.
But other than that, Adam, we've got tomorrow is the reveal of March Outturn.
It is
exciting.
But because you tuned in, ta-da! Here it is.
We are. A bundle of joy. The cover from March Outturn. How good does that SMWS set of bottles look? They'll be available as a bundle and individually. Adam and I and Zach, all 3 of us in this stream have tasted these 4 releases, and I think quite a lot of them actually. So,
spectacular.
They are incredible. We have a, in fact, you know what? I don't think we've ever really done this before, but a little treat. I'm just gonna early preview.
No.
There is March Outturn for you in the comments.
Hey, look at that!
Right there. Have an early look. 12 p.m. midday. The magazine will be available for everyone, but there is a link if you want to have a look early.
Thank you so much.
Introducing a bundle of the month for the winter series, and all available individually, of course. But if you remember last year, the winter series did not last at all. They sold out instantly as they were released. So don't sleep on them. And in addition, we have some really other exciting stuff. I mean, there's a Distillery 3 that Matt has not stopped talking about all week.
I'm not going to shut up about that whiskey. It's very good.
No, and rightly so. It is just an absolutely fantastic one. And even rarer, it's a younger, lightly peated one from Distillery 3, which we don't see very often. We usually see those sort of high teens. So don't miss out on March Out Turn. The first releases are going out next Friday, the 6th of March, and a few more bottles on the 20th of March. Sort of a 2-phase release. And the golden ticket preview. There is so much. Honestly, you'll see it all in the email at midday tomorrow. But jump on it, get around it, and just enjoy good flavor. And if you haven't already, there is an event in every single state on sale right now, and there's so many more to come as well. So grab your tickets if you haven't yet. We've got the Winter Series preview. There's the Diptych preview still available in Perth. Taz is getting a Peat Plants 2 preview and everything in between. Grand Tour of Scotland with Andrew Durbridge hitting a few states. There is so much going on. So I'll stop there because I could go on for hours. This is a massive year for the SMWS. Huge.
Yeah. So good. Thanks, Adam. And it's so good to see so many events coming up around the country. You often hear that criticism of it's just here or it's just there. Well, this time it's actually everywhere. So it
literally is.
Yeah, it really literally is. It's so. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks again to special guest Amy Bartholomew's for joining us. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you for having me, guys.
And we'll see you all. We'll see you all for the next virtual or on our socials and around the place as we go on each month. Thanks, folks.
Cheers.